The confusing story of Fire Emblem Three Houses' Crests and hero relics can be difficult to piece together. Even after you beat a single storyline of the game, you can be left with more questions than answers. What you probably already know is the crests and the hero relics were given to the people of Fodlan as a gift from the goddess to protect the land. Unfortunately, this is a big fat lie. So, after going through all of the conversations, cutscenes, and prologue fights, I am able to bring you the complete story of Fire Emblem Three Houses' Crests and hero relics. This video is going to have major spoilers, so if you haven't already beat the game, stop right now and go ahead and do that. With a game like this, it's hard to find a place to start. I guess the most obvious place to start is the beginning. And by the beginning, I mean with Sothis, aka the goddess, aka the progenitor god, aka the beginning. Before there were any major human civilizations in Fodlan, Sothis arrived there from a distant star known as Serios. In an attempt to fit in with the humans that inhabited Fodlan at the time, she took the form of a human and used her blood to form her own children. These people were known as the Nabateans, and their town was known as Zanado. Zanado, otherwise known as the Red Canyon, is located in the Ogma Mountains near the center of Fodlan. The Nabateans lived in peace with the humans, sharing their knowledge, skills, and wisdom. With this help, the humans were able to build the ancient city of Agartha. Unfortunately, the peace between the Agarthans and the Nabateans did not last long. The humans did not believe they needed the goddess's protection or help any longer, and they were jealous of the power that the Nabateans had. With the advancement of their technology, they felt they advanced past even the goddess herself and challenged her for dominance over the land. For their arrogance and greed, the goddess's daughter Serios went to war with the Agarthans. She destroyed Agartha completely, and unfortunately much of Fodlan as well. Saddened by this, Sothis used the vast majority of her power to heal Fodlan. Exhausted and nearly out of power, the goddess decided to rest in her holy tomb at Zanado and regain her strength. Meanwhile, some of the Agarthan survivors were forced to spend their days of defeat underground and plot their revenge. After some time, the underground descendants of the Agarthans formed a group known as Those Who Slither in the Dark, and they dedicated their existence to revenge for the downfall of Agartha. So they hatched a plan to wield the power of the gods for themselves using their advanced technology. Their revenge plan soon came to fruition when Those Who Slither in the Dark met a bandit named Nemesis. They told him stories of how the evil gods came to the land and laid waste to their ancient civilization. Nemesis became convinced the gods were hostile invaders of their homeland and gained a large following with the people of the land. He vowed to purge the gods from his homeland and gathered his strongest 10 men. These elite warriors were known as the 10 Elites. Their names were Blaiddyd, Riegan, Lamine, Goneril, Charon, Fraldarius, Gloucester, Dominic, Gautier, and Daphnel. Now that he had enough skilled warriors, Nemesis decided to strike his blow against the goddess and her children. In the darkness of night, Nemesis and his 10 elites slaughtered Sothis the goddess and the majority of her children, the Nabateans. There were only 5 Nabateans that made it out of Zanado alive. Serios, Sothis' last daughter, Cichol, Sothis' son, Cethleann, the daughter of Cichol, and Indech and Macuil, the last 2 sons of Sothis. Once he slaughtered the sleeping goddess, Nemesis drank her blood to gain the Crest of Flames. The blood from the dead Nabateans were given to Nemesis' strongest 10 fighters, which gave them the power of the Crests. The skeleton of the goddess was turned into the sword of the Creator, and the skeletons of her dead children were used to create the hero relics. Their hearts were turned into crest stones that are mounted into the hero relics. Nemesis, with the power of the goddess herself and the sword of the Creator, turned bloodthirsty and lusted for more power. The hero relics were thought to corrupt simple human minds and turn them into monsters if they were used for too long and darkness resided within them. The Fodlan region plummeted into darkness, and from this point forward, Zanado was known as the Red Canyon. Serios, the last daughter of the goddess and survivor of the Zanado massacre, blinded by rage, planned a revenge of her own. She recruited Wilhelm Paul Hresvelg to convince the 10 elites to fight alongside her once they realized what a monster Nemesis had become. This war was known as the War of Heroes. After decades of fighting, Serios engaged Nemesis in one-on-one combat and she slayed him with her dagger. After the fight, you can see her speaking to the sword, which has the heart of her mother in it in the form of a crest stone. Serios eventually removes the crest stone from the sword of the creator and uses it in an attempt to bring her mother, the goddess, back to life. Serios then changes her name to Lady Rhea and rewrites the history of the Crests and the hero relics. She knows humans are power-hungry and easily corrupted. If humans learned they could drink the blood of the Nabateans to gain the power of the Crests, they would all eventually be hunted down and slaughtered. Knowing this, Serios creates a false story in order to protect her siblings and also hold power in the region in an attempt to finish her real goal, bringing the goddess back to Fodland. I hope you enjoyed this video. There will be more story and character breakdowns to come. Please give it a thumbs up or subscribe if you haven't for more of this content. Thanks again.